Happy that we're on the RMP team because we can actually tell you where the rogue is, what he's going to set up on. So Khuna is sprinting in there right now. He's on the right side. Xandyn is also an invis, and it looks like Khuna is targeting onto Talbadar right now. Probably, good magma totem placement by Cdew, by the way. A sap onto Talbadar. Looks like they're going to start onto Cdew. Cdew actually line of sighting Xandyn either because he has such good awareness or because he's getting lucky because Xandyn wasn't invis. But already spread dots onto the entire team from Snutz. Really great job. A hex onto Xandyn right now. Talbadar getting dots out onto Zunniyaki, it looks like. And Cdew stuck in a Garrote right now with Talbadar in a deep freeze. Cdew might be in a little bit of trouble. He's down to 40% and he's stuck in an impact.
Yeah, he's now impacted. It's important also to note that Talbadar has no trinket. He was blinded early. They are trying to kill that water elemental, but he's catching some heals. Cdew's down to 30% HP. Another impact coming out. I can hear him raging right now. He does health zone. There's the NS as well, but it's not going to bring him up very much. So he's going to need some heals from Talb. We do see him spamming out those flash heals, throwing out the shield. Now going to be going back into shadow form, trying to get the damage rolling, and we can see that Snutz has already been doing an awesome job. Full dots on Khuna, full dots on Xandyn, full dots on that water elemental, forcing Zunniyaki to use that divine hymn.
Yeah, Zunniyaki did run away and divine him. He was out of line of sight from all fears, spell locks, or anything. Another full kidney onto Cdew. He does throw down a fear at the same time, and it looks like Talbadar did get dispelled out of that. Talbadar throwing a silence right now onto Zunniyaki. Xandyn down to 44%, trying to line of sight Talbadar right now because the Shadow Priest is most of the burst. A fear bomb from Snutz. Khuna forced to cloak. Xandyn down to 28%. He does block.
Zunniyaki also had a trinket there. There's a coil on the trinket. They're going to go hard on Zunniyaki. There's the Frost Shock. Full Demon Soul dots coming up. MCS from Snutz, but unfortunately that is DR'd, so he's going to be able to top himself off now, unless the shock can come from Cdew. But look at all this pressure rolling. Xandyn's down to 40%. Zunniyaki's at half. Khuna is UA feared at 50%. Cdew also, though, in some trouble. He's down to 40% HP. Does still have that Spirit Link, and he's not going to have to use it because of that nice fear. He's going to be able to pick himself off, and I'm not sure if Xandyn's going to be able to recover from this point. He's going to have to blink behind the pillar. PS is up. He's going for that Evo as well.
Yeah, and that Evocate is going to heal him. He does have that glyph. Khuna doesn't have a cloak. He's at 63%. Zunniyaki flash healing himself. He was at about 50%, but he picks himself up just fine. Talbadar having great awareness, by the way, knowing when to dot, knowing when to burst, knowing when to heal. I think that's what makes him such a strong Shadow Priest. But you can see Cdew stuck in a full kidney right now. Snutz trying to get some fears and some UAs out. A big fear bomb from Talbadar did put the Priest and the Rogue into a fear. And with a silence on his Zunniyaki, looks like they're going to go hard onto him. He is Snutz's target right now. Snutz throwing another fear bomb out on the DPS. Zunniyaki trying to pick himself up behind a pillar, but Zunniyaki's mana is really hurting, whereas Cdew's at about 40% right now.
Yeah, here's the Hymn of Hope coming in from Zunniyaki, trying to do his best to get some mana back. There's the Shadow Dance onto Tenderloin. He has no trinket. Kidney's probably going to follow up that Garrote, but no, nothing comes out. I'm not sure what happened there in a nice life grip from Talbadar. Going to pull Cdew out of danger, back behind that pillar, and Zunniyaki's in a full fear. Xandyn might just go down here.
Yeah, and Talbadar is stuck in a blind right now. He doesn't have a way out of it. Maybe he's going to catch a Spirit Link right now from Cdew, but Cdew actually decides to NS himself. Probably the wise choice. Xandyn at 50% now, but he doesn't have any more blocks, and Khuna's cloak has about 15 seconds or so on it. Zunniyaki dispels a UA behind the pillar, though, so he's going to have to pick himself up before he goes out to heal his teammates, which is not good. But Talbadar in a sap right now. Snutz is at 60%. He was being hit pretty hard right there.
Tenderloin is deep frozen, though. He could be in some trouble here. He does have Trinket Link, and I believe his NS has even come back up, though. So the mana is the big problem. He's down to 30% HP. He has almost no mana remaining, down to 20% HP, catching him a little bit of a heal. Talb might need to go defensive here, but instead he's going to throw the silence onto Zunniyaki, try to get some pressure rolling on Xandyn, see if they can finish him off.
Yeah, Talbadar is currently mind flaying onto Khuna right now. Looks like he's just trying to let his teammates get away. Xandyn throwing out a poly.
There's a cheap shot trinketed by Cdew, and now he's into a full Garrote. He's catching a shield from Talbadar, so he should be fine, but still, as I said, Zunniyaki has now gotten ahead in mana.
Yeah, Cdew's actually really hurting right now. Another fear onto Talbadar as Cdew is stuck in a deep freeze. He gets out now, but he's almost entirely tapped on mana. There comes another smoke bomb, a polymorph onto Talbadar. And
nice Talbadar, though.
Yeah, but because Cdew was in that smoke bomb, he wasn't able to dispel instantly as he would have liked to. Cdew now at 66%, a nice grip away, really nice grip away. Khuna does shadow step back, though, and now Xandyn blinking in. this Shadowplay really needs to get some pressure rolling right now. I think they're in a lot of trouble. Cdew stuck in a kidney. He's almost guaranteed to have to link out of this. Does he have another smoke bomb that he can possibly lay down?
I'm not sure, but I mean, the link does go down. We'll see how fast it is killed. Khuna taking it out right away. A nice job there by Khuna. Cdew is just completely doomed. Talb's even having to disperse offensively. He needs to get that mana back. Snutz is trying to do his best that he can to keep the dots rolling, try to get some pressure going here. But unfortunately, it seems like the RMP is stabilized. One thing to note, though, Cdew is behind the pillar here. He is cheap shot into the kidney shot by Khuna. Khuna does have the grow falling up. Xandyn needs to get over here, though, to connect. There's an MCS onto Xandyn, but he's here now. There's the Frostfire Bolt coming out on Cdew. Cdew could definitely go down here. He's into that Kona Cold Nova. He's at 50%, but he's just completely tapped.
Yeah, and Talbadar actually deciding to throw some mana burns out. That's almost a rare sight to see. Zunniyaki could possibly be in a lot of trouble. He did just throw a pain suppress on himself. Cdew stuck in a full kidney shot, and if Xandyn can connect, I think Cdew could possibly go down.
Silence, though, coming out defensively from Talbadar onto that shatter from Xandyn. Xandyn's going to get one more Frostfire Bolt. He's trying to do the best he can, but, although Cdew has been they haven't been able to have any damage coming out of Xandyn because he hasn't had a Water Elemental for so long. Khuna, though, still just training away onto Tenderloin. There's a DR'd kidney. There's the Water Elemental popping out, so damage will be coming out. We see an MCS onto Xandyn from Snutz. He's trying to stop as much damage as possible, but the Ice Lances are spamming out from Xandyn. Tenderloin pops that Mana Tide. Are they going to kill the Mana Tide? They're ignoring it, so Cdew's going to be able to get mana back here.
Yeah, I think they need to kill that Mana Tide. A lot of times people don't think it's worth it, but in this scenario, it definitely is.
I mean, he can just one-shot it. It was right beside him the whole time.
Yeah, and Khuna is dancing right now, but his dance does fade, and Cdew at 30% health. I think he's actually probably going to need to get some heals from Talbadar right now. But Talbadar going for the burst again. A counterspell comes out from Xandyn, and Talbadar has to disperse, which means he cannot heal Cdew, and Cdew does end up going down. They had such great spread pressure at the beginning. I thought they were for sure going to get a kill, but then they just couldn't finish anybody off.
Yeah, I mean, they did a good job. They had the pressure rolling. Zunniyaki kind of was given a chance to recover, I feel, a little bit. I'm not sure if he got a drink off or what happened, but everything was good at the start. Just the problem was, it's like, you're...
In 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, he's actually insane. I'm pretty sure he was one of the best players in the world at the end of Season 10. Easily, actually.
Most definitely. So we do see this RMP coming out. There's the Invis from Xandyn. Akuna's going to be sprinting straight in. Cdew's sitting back. I like this. Snutz is going to be out in the middle trying to slow them down, get some pressure. I'd love to see him try to get a fear on Zunniyaki right off the bat, get some dots rolling. But they're just going to forego that. They're just going to walk right past Sap onto Talbadar. There's a cheap shot onto Tenderloin. Are they going to be able to stop this opener from Xandyn? Frostfire Bolt comes out. Is he able to fake the CS? He gets the grounding. And no damage really coming out during that stun. So good job already from Cdew having that pre-grounding down.
Yeah, and Talbadar did just trinket a blind, by the way, but wow, he actually got bursted pretty hard right there, down to 50%. Looks like he should be okay picking himself up, unless something strange happens. He actually gets caught in a
so bad. The Ring of Frost, actually, he landed right as a shatter hit, and a kidney to follow that up, so he has to trinket immediately. He's in a lot of pressure back here. He's trying to fake that kick, but there's a smoke bomb down. He can't even link. He's going to be in some trouble. The Penance coming in from Zunniyaki, trying to keep his team offensive. Tenderloin down to 30% HP. If he does get stunned, he might just die, so he's going to have to link here. He knows it. There's the link. Everyone top back up to 70, but the link is going to be taken out. Now every cooldown has been forced, and this is why this map is so scary.
Yeah, they're just really forcing everything right now. They used NS, they used Trinket, they used Spirit Link, and now a full Fear on Snutz doesn't look like he's going to be able to catch a Dispel because Cdew was inside a kidney shot right there. Down to 50%. Talbadar going on.
Tenderloin just got kicked. He might just go down here. The Shadow Fiend has been popped. He's at 20% HP. He's going to need to catch that life grip from Talbadar. He's trying to top him off as best he can. Is he going to be able to get out of here?
Yeah, another Garrote, and he's down to 30%. He does have a freshly renewed Earth Shield, though. We don't have to worry about that falling. Khuna is deciding to cloak to get right back onto him, though, and it looks like he's going to try and throw out a Hex. Xandyn did just get blanketed right there. I believe he juked, and Zunniyaki also gets blanketed. Cdew stuck in a full kidney, possibly going to go down. A big fear on his teammates. He does Tremor Totem, down to 30%. A Frost Nova, is he going to get shattered? He does ground it, and now down to 35%, picking himself up. Talbadar throwing out the heals, but Talbadar is almost completely
now.
tapped.
Yeah, he spent all his mana healing Tenderloin to keep him alive there. It's key to note that the only reason he's even still alive is because of a great fear from Snutz on Kuna's full dance. Khuna is PS. He has no cloak because he cloaked offensively, so they want to try to take advantage of this, but I'm not sure that Talb has the mana to do so. We see that Zunniyaki's doing a good job keeping his team topped off. Tenderloin is actually getting a tied drink, so he got a lot of mana back there. Nice job. The pressure has been swapped over onto Snutz, who had to trinket. but now they're going to go right back onto Cdew. He has that Earth Shield up on himself. We're going to have to see, how this RMP is going to be able to deal with this. The Shadow Dance has come out. Zunniyaki's under a lot of pressure, though. A big fear onto Khuna. Unfortunately, the Spell Lock landed on Khuna there as well. He is going to step back and get that kidney, though.
Yeah, and silence on his Zunniyaki. Zunniyaki did Shadow Melt. It did not catch the silence, though. Cdew is stuck in a fear at 50%, as is Snutz, and Talbadar was inside of a Ring of Frost. He did end up trinketing Cdew at 63%. Talbadar trying to get some pressure rolling, and Zunniyaki doing a great job keeping his team up, but he is at about 30% mana, but so is Cdew. But Cdew's also at 40% health, down to 37% health. A Deep Freeze was on Talbadar right there to try and stop some off heal and some pressure.
He faked the kick, but he got gouged at the end of that heal, and his run cast has now ended, but another good fear on Khuna does come out. There's a blind on a Talbadar. He's stuck in that full. Cdew's in so much trouble. There's a Garrote. Is a kidney going to come to follow this up? He does have a trinket. He's not using it. He does trinket now, but still he's at 40% HP. Catches a shield from Talbadar, but Talbadar's as well. Talbadar trying to mana burn Zunniyaki, finish off the rest of his mana. Zunniyaki does catch that Ueda spell while Talbadar goes into another shot. Frost Nova, a Tenderloin impacted, but it's so close. I mean, they're both so but Cdew's really low on HP.
Yeah, you can see Snutz is actually spam fearing right now with the spread dots, but Zunniyaki is also in a lot of trouble, down to 28%, possibly going to go down here, 31%. He catches a shield. Cdew in a kidney at 34%, 16%, dead. But are they going to get a cross kill here?
He's out here. He's completely He's 10% HP, 7% HP. He is going to go down, so it's a cross kill. But who's going to win this? Khuna and Xandyn are both at full HP. Snutz is at 40%. Does Talbadar have enough mana to catch him up? We see that Soulburn, Hellstone, and the port. Snutz needs to get out of there. He cannot let this rogue connect, or he is dead. But the rogue does get back. Is there going to be a stun coming out? Khuna has no cloak, so he could go down as well. Snutz is going to fall here, though. Down to 10% HP. Catches a shield from Talbadar. Is he going to be able to stay alive? There's a Deep Freeze and the kidney overlapping, but I don't think Talbadar has anything left. But Khuna could still go down. It might go to 1v1. There's a cheat that he goes down. It's going to be a 1v1. But Talbadar is completely and Xandyn has a huge advantage. A nice dispersal coming out of Talbadar. He is, if anyone can do it, it's him. He's amazing at 1v1, but I don't know.
This is so rough, man. He's actually blinking right now. Going to get shattered down to 38%. He's going to have to fade to try and remove all the snares, trying to heal himself up, but it looks like Xandyn might have the shatter to kill him.
Oh, he just gets less.
He gets behind the pillar and starts healing himself. He doesn't have a counterspell for another 6 or 5 seconds or so.
So with those Fingers of Frost, he's just spamming isolates away. Talbadar does catch the shield, but he's into an impact. I think he's going to go down here. There's the MCS, Kona Cold Nova, Frostfire Bolt coming out. The Frost Orb, it has now expired, so if Talb can land this heal, he might be able to stay alive for a bit. He does throw that silence to deny any impacts or any deep freezes on that, so just barely staying alive. Nice job by Talb. He's going to throw out the death on the Water Elemental. He needs to take that out. He can't let Xandyn have those free Fingers of Frost. He knows that he's going to have a nice dispel. A good fear on the Water Elemental, but he's deep frozen. He's going to have to trinket that. Throws the disarm on that shatter. Going for the Mind Blast, but here comes a big shatter from Xandyn.
I've actually never seen a 1v1 situation. Talbadar down to 23% in an impact stun. He doesn't have a trinket, a frostbolt coming, a nice shield. He is not snared because of that holy walk, I believe is what it's called. And look at him. He's trying to pick himself up right now. A big fear, but Xandyn trinkets. And now Talbadar trying to stack his Mind Flay. Looks like he's going to pop Wings for mana right here. Probably he does death, get a little bit more mana back. A Shadow Word Pain, and here comes a Disperse, a nicely timed Disperse on that Shatter. Really well done. And with this mana, he might be able to pick himself up, but he's stuck in
Deep Freeze, and this Shatter might just kill him. He's down to 40% HP, 10% HP. Is an MCS going to come out? Not just yet. He does pop his Hellstone and that shield. He silences Xandyn. He's trying to get something done here, but a block offensively to deny those dots coming out. But Xandyn now, he has no block. If Talbadar can somehow stay alive, but the Frost Orb coming out is going to give him so many procs. He does have a nice fear there on his Xandyn. He's going to need to pick himself off. Great job by Talbadar here. And if he can go offensive, he could actually maybe finish off the mage at this point.
Yeah, but he actually ran into that Frostfire Orb, which is a little scary. It lets the mage have a few more procs. He does get a Fingers of Frost, and there's a Deep Freeze. And it looks like Talbadar, yeah, he's probably going to go down right here unless he has a miracle workout, but he does end up dying. Going to get the start in 3, 2, 1, go. So I wasn't sure if you said, like, hold on, don't start or something like that, but yeah, I think it's smart. I think it's definitely very smart.
Yeah, it is really good, but we saw mana was a problem for Cdew in a lot of the games as well. We do see that Palm, the shields coming out early from both Zunniyaki and Tenderloin, getting those rolling. We see that unbeknownst to this shadow play, Khuna and Xandyn are both there. They're going to get a sap onto Tenderloin. Are they just going to open up hard onto him? I think they want to. Here comes the Frostbolt. No spell lock on it. A big shatter does come out onto Tenderloin, down to 60% HP. He's into that kidney shot. We see a trinket, actually. So Talbadar, although he is undead, he trinketed before he willed, unfortunately, so probably just not used to that. Khuna is at 70% HP. We see Zunniyaki's mounting over there. Wants to come in, get that fear. We have a Ring of Frost down, but that's not impactful whatsoever. Snutz is stuck into Nova right now. Tenderloin is going to get gripped back up by Talbadar. Great job by him. Xandyn taking a huge Mind Blast as well, going to be dumped down to 50% HP.
Yeah, and he got Hex right there, and he trinketed immediately, which means he could possibly go into a Death Coil, into a Silence or something like that. Obviously, he does still have that Ice Block. But Cdew also, being really smart, dropped an extremely early tide. He dropped it right before he got gripped, probably hoping that they would chase and not know what happened. But Khuna is dancing right now. He gets disarmed almost instantly from Talbadar. Great awareness right there. And they actually didn't do much of anything with that dance. Snutz spamming Curse of Tongues, Xandyn having to decurse it. But Tenderloin, aka Cdew, taking a little bit of damage right now.
That Smoke Bomb down to 6% HP. A nice grounding on that shatter, but it lands anyway, so it must have been dispelled. He's down to 30% HP, trying to get that heal off. I'm not sure if he faked or got kicked. He's still just trying to fake away. He throws the NS up as he gets impacted. Zunniyaki does dispel that UA. Shadow melts to avoid a fear. He's going to try to top his team back off, keep them offensive. Tenderloin does have to throw out that Hellstone, the Riptide. He's going up in HP. Talbadar has been helping him out a little bit, but Snutz and Cdew are in some trouble here. Snutz is stuck in that fear. There's a Garrote onto Tenderloin. Zunniyaki, though, at the same time, is dipping quite a bit.
Yeah, Cdew down to 69% right now at the end of that kidney shot. Xandyn at 60, Khuna at 60 as well. And there are full dots on Khuna right now. A big fear from Talbadar. Really nice job. Looks like Snutz is trying to set up some real damage here. You can see he's casting his Haunt onto Zunniyaki, who's actually fully dotted. He's at 60% health. He's possibly going to get bursted here at 36% health. Cdew at 62, so Talbadar knows he can probably go offensive right here. Snutz throwing some fears out, and Zunniyaki is still in a little bit of trouble at 52%. Talbadar having to disperse right now.
Another grip from Talbadar, pulling Cdew out of danger. Great job by him. And Zunniyaki is low on mana. Xandyn's in some trouble. Zunniyaki still has his PS available, but his teammates are low. There's a full Hex out of Cdew onto Xandyn. Great job by them. Kuna's going to jump down, but he's taking a lot of damage, and Snutz has been just doing a fantastic job CCing when needed, keeping the dots rolling. Well played by him so far.
Yeah, but look at Zunniyaki's mana now. He's already back up to 50%. Looks like Cdew is possibly going to go for a drink here, maybe. He's he's running behind the pillar, trying to get out of combat, trying to get out of line of sight, make sure he can't get stopped. But yeah, here comes the big drink, man. And Khuna running towards him. A Shadow Flame snare by Snutz. That was really, really, really smart. And here comes a Soul Swap right onto Xandyn, who's also fully dotted. Cdew did pick himself back up to 70% mana or so. A Deep Freeze on a Talbadar. Here comes a Tricks from Khuna. Looks like they could do some big damage right here. And there's a Mind Control on Talbadar, but he actually willed up for seconds it. And Cdew down to 65% health, but Xandyn at 44% health. Kuna's dance did end, and Cdew now at 28%, trying to pick himself back up.
He gets stuck in the ring. He might get shattered here. If he does get shattered, he's going to go down. He's at 20%, 3% HP. Throws out the Spirit like just in time, barely living through that. They're all at 50% HP. Snutz is impacted now. He has that life tap. There's just so much damage going out everywhere. He's 0 mana. Zunniyaki does get coiled. There's a CS onto Xandyn. Zunniyaki is going to be able to get behind here to spell that UA with a shield on himself, negating that damage. We see a Garrote onto Cdew. There's a fear onto Snutz, but it is tremored by Cdew. Nice job by him getting his teammate out of that CC while he's under pressure. He has his trinket available once again, and he also has that NS. Link is not available, but Zunnyaki's in some trouble. He's silenced. He's down to 30% HP, and Talbadar is going for the burst.
Yeah, and Snutz did just soul swap to him, and it looks like he just fear warded a howl from Snutz. I'm not 100% on that, but he's back to 80% health, and now Cdew looks like he's trying to throw a Hex out onto Xandyn. He does land the Hex, but Xandyn is also fully dotted. It's probably going to break, and it does break right then. And Talbadar pops his wings. Could we possibly see some burst coming from Talbadar onto Zunniyaki? He's currently at 45%, uses an Aura Mastery, running away.
Big grip by Talbadar, pulling Cdew out of danger there. He's going to be able to top himself off. Talbadar has just been key in this, but Kuna's going for a re-stealth. Looks like he might get it. No, Talbadar able to get there in time, get that Devouring Plague up. It looks like they want to switch it over onto Khuna. Tenderloin's doing so well on mana. Cdew, that is, Khuna is going to have to cloak. Zunniyaki is kind of hurting on mana right now, but I think he must have popped his Fiend because he's getting a lot back.
No, he's drinking, man. He's on the opposite side of the map, drinking so much mana back, but there wasn't much that the Shadow Play could do. They had a Frost Mage and a Rogue peeling for him. But here comes a some big damage. It was a dance, and there's a kidney on the Tenderloin, where Cdew, a polymorph on Snutz, he does get dispelled out of it. Cdew trying to pick himself back up. Talbadar trying to throw some dots out as well. A disarm into a silence on Zunniyaki, who's currently at 37%. Looks like he's getting bursted for all his health here. He does have a Desperate Prayer, so it's not entirely over yet.
Oh, he gets feared on that flash shield, though, down to 20% HP. He's in double death range. He's going to pop that Aura Mastery, but he might just go down. He lands that flash shield, gets the PS, but he's coiled on it. He's still in so much trouble. He gets that shield up. He needs to top himself off. He goes for the penance. He gets blocked. No, he faked it. He faked it. So he's going to be okay. He's going to be able to top himself off. And look at Cdew. He's down to 40% HP. He had to trinket. His mana is starting to hurt. Things are starting to look like they could be turning around for the RMP here. You know, we see Xandyn down there. He's chasing Cdew. He's going to impact him. He's not going to let him get a drink off. Cdew's just kind of hiding in the corner there, trying to LOS as best he can. Khuna is fully dotted up, but a fear comes out onto Talbadar and Snutz, forcing the trinket from both. And there's a big shatter coming in from Cdew.
Yeah, Khuna doesn't have a cloak, by the way, and he's cheating death at 6% health. He could possibly go down with a spell lock on Zunniyaki, and he actually has a win. Is this the start of a comeback? Is this the comeback train? Are we all about to board the comeback train, and they're going to ride it all the way to 3-2 when they were down 2-0? One, go. This is their favorite map because they get such a good opener on this map, as we saw against that RLS, man, where they forced all those cooldowns, even though Khuna was sapped. So we'll see if they can do something like this time, but you can see Cdew starting off down below, a sap onto Talbadar, and we'll see what Khuna decides to destroy.
Yeah, so there is an MCS onto Zunniyaki, followed up by the Howl of Terror, denying the fear on Cdew. Great play by him. They're going to be doing damage to Xandyn. Looks like he's going to be rotting quite heavily already. Zunniyaki decided to sit that fear. Tenderloin was under some pressure, but he didn't shrink it. Good support from Talbadar and Snutz, allowing him to save those cooldowns.
Yeah, and there's the dance from Khuna, but look, it gets disarmed instantly, but he trinkets, and he's still at 47%. But Tenderloin, aka Cdew, at 55%, trying to pick himself back up. Talbadar stuck in a deep freeze right now, not able to get a dispel. Looks like he got some trash debuffs instead. Talbadar throwing out a Mind Blast right now, going on the offensive. Looks like Cdew might need something out of this, though. Maybe a Nature Swift. He does.
Though comes from Talbadar. He gets a trinket on Zunniyaki, silences him instantly on that trinket. So another Howl of Terror to follow that up. He's going to be putting out so much damage on Khuna. He might have to cloak here. He's down to 30% HP. Zunniyaki desperately trying to pick him back up, but there's a soul swap over on Zunniyaki. They're going to turn the pressure around. He has to pop that PS. We see a flash shield is going to be faked, but still, I mean, Khuna is going to have to be gripped out of there. He is in some trouble. Talbadar is gripping Cdew to the corner as well.
This is really good pressure by the Shadow Play, man. Look, Xandyn even having the Ice Block. Khuna stuck in a fear at 13%. He's probably going to have to cloak. Zunniyaki divine hemming behind a pillar, and Kuna's on the opposite side of the map.
He gets coiled on it, though. He's no trigger. He could go down here. He's at 30% HP. If Talbadar can connect to Zunniyaki, Khuna at the same time cloaks at 5% HP. Xandyn's in so much trouble. Talbadar is going to come over here. He's going for the Mind Blast onto Zunniyaki. He is going for those inner focus heals, but everyone is so low. There's a dance bomb coming into Snutz. You know, Kuna's just trying to relieve some of this pressure, but look at the HPs of this team. 40% on Xandyn, 40% on Khuna, 64% on Zunniyaki. Snutz is at 80%. Talbadar as well is getting some damage out here.
There's a silence on Zunniyaki, and he's trying to waddle away, but if he gets in double death range, he might just go down. Xandyn also at 13%, has the Ice Block behind a pillar, and now Khuna doesn't have a cloak, and he's on the opposite side of the map. He's down at 33%, trying to cloak, sprint back to his team. He did get a vanish, and he is stealthed right now.
Still there's so much trouble. Talbadar is coming in here. He did get the Fear Ward, unfortunately for him. Khuna did get a re-stealth. He's going to get that cheap shot on him before he gets that Fear. Talbadar is down to 50% HP. There's a spell lock onto Zunniyaki. Khuna, Fear following it up. He's going to be stuck in this Fearful. Khuna might go down here. There's a cheat death, 4%. He's definitely going to go down. There's no way. Disarm comes out on Zunniyaki. They just all leave.
Choo-choo, baby, choo-choo. The comeback train's happening. All aboard! Start in 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, so I don't even know how, like, I can't even repeat that. But yeah, we're gonna have this RMP. We're gonna just watch Khuna going out here in stealth. He's moving up to the right side, heading over towards Snutz. We're gonna have to see what he wants to sap. Looks like he's gonna go for a sap on Snutz. No, he's just gonna dart away, possibly go for a sap on Tenderloin. Yeah, he gets him sapped out, and Tenderloin's off to the side, so he is in a position where Xandyn possibly could get over here and get the shatter. He's gonna get cheap shot right off the bat. There is blind onto Talbadar. He's going to trigger that immediately. Xandyn coming in with some Ice Lances, throwing out that extra damage. A big Fear coming out of Talbadar, though. Going to force a will from Xandyn. Silence onto Zunniyaki. Kuna's Fear was broken by those damage, by the dots.
Yeah, and there comes a dance from Khuna, and it looks like he's just going to try and stick to Tenderloin or Cdew as best he can. Cdew at 77%, but his dance actually didn't do too much, and Xandyn never got that opening shatter, which is so crucial. But Kuna's at 70% right now, fully dotted. Look at Snutz, man. Full dots on Khuna, full dots on Zunniyaki. He's doing a really great job right now.
Yeah,
and now Xandyn's stuck in a full hex.
Yes, that's really getting the pressure rolling here, doing an awesome job in this shadow play. There's a disarm onto Zunniyaki. They're going to go hard on him. I think there's the life drain. There's the haunt coming out. Full dots up on Zunniyaki. A spell lock on that sheep from Xandyn. He's just going to try to throw out some spell steals, get rid of those shields and everything. Khuna is under a lot of pressure as well. He's just sitting onto Tenderloin. It looks like they just want to train him the whole game, but I mean, Tenderloin has Trinket. He has Spirit Link. He has all the cooldowns he needs to survive. Khuna's forced to cloak offensively. He's going to go for a re-stealth, pulling back here behind the pillar. It looks like he's going to be able to get it.
Yeah, and there's a fear on Xandyn. Wow, that actually broke instantly. A little unlucky, especially when these DRs are so important. A nice grip from Talbadar onto Cdew. Line of sights him from the mage and the rogue. The rogue did shadow step over to him, and now he has a garrote onto Cdew. That is his dance. He's trying to do as much damage as he can, but Cdew isn't even dipping below 90% throughout an entire dance. Wow, what outstanding play, especially with those that shield from Talbadar. So really nice job. But there's not a lot of pressure rolling right now.
Oh, he gets kicked on Hex, so he could be in trouble here. The big fear does go down. Talbadar needs to get the mind control off. Wow, he lands on mind control on Zunniyaki. Look at Zunniyaki's HP rotting. A big fear comes out on Khuna and Xandyn, and Zunniyaki is in that CC as well, so there's a triple CC, and Tenderloin's going to be able to top himself off. Still, they haven't even gotten his trinket, and things are starting to look really bad for this RMP. Zunnyaki's in a lot of trouble. He's still in the middle. He needs to get back to that pillar and get some HP back here, but Khuna, you know, he's taking a lot of damage as well. Just look at all the dots out from Snutz and Talbadar.
Actually, Talbadar just did one of the smartest things I've ever seen. He mind-controlled Zunniyaki into the shadow site, so he'd take 5% more damage. Absolutely brilliant. And now Khuna taking a lot of damage. He's at 70% with full dots on him. Xandyn did just use as well the Forsaken there. And now Zunniyaki's at 65% into full fear, but he does end up trinketing it. And now Khuna doesn't have a cloak still, by the way.
30% HP, he's into a half fear. Khuna might just go down here. There's a cheat death down to 3% HP. He does vanish, but 1% HP. MCS on Zunniyaki. Khuna will go down. The comeback is complete. Shadowplay has done it. I owe Tenderloin $20. This thing just won 3 straight games. I can't believe it.
Well,